Well, we've got some big games on the cards in today's episode. There's only 4 games left remaining in this season. We're only 9 points off the top. So York are sitting still top of the league with 80 points. We're currently on 71. The worrying thing is we're only 4 points away from potentially dropping out of the playoffs altogether. So like I said, as you can see here, York have already confirmed their playoff spot. We've then got Altrincham with 78 points, us at 71, Aldershot Town 71, Forest Green 69, Woking 67, Barnet 67, and then you can see there isn't many points between that chasing pack and getting and sneaking into the playoffs. The one good thing that's going in our favour is our goal difference. You know, we've still got the best goal difference in the league, 33 goal difference for us. York just behind us with 31. In terms of what that's actually meant with regards to fixtures since you last joined, like I said, we obviously saw the Sutton United game and we lost 3-0, unfortunately. I went on, as I mentioned I would, and played quite a few games off of camera because, of course, we were still quite comfortable in them playoff spots. The form was questionable at best, really. After the Sutton game, as you can see, we drew at home, lost away, and then lost at home as well. We then managed to pick up a win away from home, drew 2, 1-1, drew 1. So if this end part of the form continues, we could well and truly drop out of the playoffs. What the plan will be is probably bring you the Yeovil and the York game, because of course that will be a potentially top of the table clash depending on what happens in the fixture when we play Yeovil. So we'll probably have the Yeovil and York game, and then what I may do, depending on how comfortable we are in the playoffs, is probably play these two off camera and then bring you obviously to the playoffs in the next episode. But we'll see how things go. I mean, if we lose both of these, then we'll most certainly be seeing these in the next episode. But now you may be looking at this team sheet and thinking, hang on a minute, there's 2 new additions in the team, and those eagle-eyed viewers will have spotted them straight away. So we have Trow Van Mully in from Oxford United. He's on loan to us for the rest of the season. He come in about a week or 2 ago, maybe a little bit longer actually, but he came in obviously on loan, 4-star ability, 5-star potential. He's come in as almost a natural right winger. We've also brought another striker in. G is on loan. Mellor I see more as a cam or playing across either of these positions. So we brought in this guy, Joe Hugill. Now some of you may recognise him because of course he used to be a youngster at Manchester United. Hasn't really ever got going in terms of his career. Never really set the world on fire. Had loan spells in the Enterprise, in Sky Bet League 1, League 2, etc. But we've brought him in. So far he's made 5 appearances for us. He scored 1 goal, made 1 assist and got 1 player of the match. Can't complain. He's only 23 years old as well. We signed him on quite a long-term deal. So we might be risking the finances a little bit, but only at £1,000 a week. Long-term deal. Even if we don't go up this season, he's going to be a striker that once he's really sort of embedded with the team, I feel like he's going to tear the National League up in terms of his goal scoring ability. So here you go, boys and girls. This is your starting 11 for the game against Yeovil. We've got Wright in goal, Pinnington, Skara, Johnson and Killer Ferrari in defence, Campbell and Ashby in the holding midfield roles. We've got Morley, McEachran and Boswell in attack, with Hugill leading the line. Now, we are actually recording this the day after the recent update. So the date today is Saturday the 14th of February. So very happy Valentine's Day for those that are watching either. Well, you'll be watching this in the future because of course I'm recording it now, but you won't see it for a while. But they have just recently done a big game update. So let's just hope that the tactic doesn't fall flat on its face now, because that would be devastating, because I know they've done some tweaks to the actual match engine. They've made some changes to the actual lookout. Obviously, they've put pass maps back in, which is great. You know, will we use them that much? Potentially, to see sort of what some players are doing more. They've also put little icons on the shouts, which I don't know if I feel like that was really necessary. I mean, I don't hate it, but there's probably other things that I would prefer to have had in rather than them, if I'm honest. Like, I much rather would have the cup draws put back in or transfer deadline day. But hey, things are changing and updates are coming potentially thick and fast. So we just have to let them do what they want to do. We're still having a whale of the time of the game. You know, we're still really enjoying it. I do think it's helped with the immersion that we've got in this Oxford City save, most certainly. But I can't complain. I've not had half the problems that other people have said that they've had with it locking up or freezing or crashing. I haven't had this save crash once. So I can't complain really in terms of that, realistically. We've got Kelly Ferrari here. Dangerous ball in. Ooh. Who was that? I don't even know who that was. I think that was Campbell. Campbell absolutely smashed that on the volley and almost challenged the goalkeeper that early in. I mean, we're 20 minutes in and we haven't actually scored. We have one shot on target. We are away from home, though, but Yeovil are 17th in the league. So, you know, we've got York next. They are winning 2-1. I mean, is it really a title challenge? I mean, last season was a little bit more believable because we could definitely have beaten Maidstone. No, it wasn't Maidstone, was it? It was Macclesfield. We could have definitely chased them down. I don't think we're going to chase York down. They've been pretty much unbeaten most of the whole season. They've been very, very good. They're on the attack here, though, Yeovil. We want to make sure we just still stay defensively solid, which I'm still hoping we will be. You know, I'm hoping none of these updates have meant that Jay Wright is now an awful goalkeeper. or Johnson all of a sudden has gone from the quality of a Sky Bet League 2 player to being National League standard, because that would be absolutely heartbreaking. Considering we got him on the back of our Oxford City shirt as well, you know. But to be fair, yeah, we will take Campbell to shoot less often. I want it to get into Hugill, really. I want him to be scoring, getting some confidence going into the playoffs. Like I said, he's only scored one goal. He's not been playing bad in them games. I really want him to get better. I'm going to say we simply have to be better in front of goal. We've not had, I think we only had one shot on target that whole half. And that is unlike us, which is a worry. So we may be potentially looking to tinker one or two things here if we need to. I'm going to put Ashby into a more box-to-box role, get a few more bodies forward when we're on the attack. We've got a throw in here by Pinnington into McEachran. Oh, I was going to say, where's that going to? McEachran luckily covered it up. Boswell hits the crossbar. Come on. 52 minutes played. Still 0-0. We can win this game and then we can beat York. I think we would be pretty comfortable in saying playoffs are secured. But if we draw or lose this game, then I don't know. I feel like that could be potentially... I'm going to change this to a whipped cross. Maybe... No, we'll float this cross maybe more for Hugill, because he is good in the air. Well, as I say that, he's taken a knock, which isn't great. Right, let's get him off. Bring on G. Let's bring Mellor on for Boswell. Clark on. Manialiki. Yeah, let's bring Aliki on. Remember, Aliki's retiring at the end of the season, so all these last final appearances for him are all just his retirement tour, so to speak. Just give him the send-off he deserves. Imagine if we can win the playoffs. Now that is the send-off he deserves. But 80 minutes played here. Can we go and grab a goal? Let's go positive for the last 10 minutes. I mean, we've only had 2 shots on target. That is a big worry. I am concerned that we have been done over by the updates in the match engine and our tactic is now potentially broken. But we've not conceded, so defensively we're still okay. Attackingly, or in the attack, shall I say, 2 shots on target, or is it just a bad day at the office? You know, 14 shots free on target. We have had an XG of 1.5. Have we just been dog awful in front of goal, which is probably it. York went on to win 3-2. How did Altrincham get on? They won 1-0. Forest Green, they won 4-1. Aldershot Town lost, luckily. And Woking, how did they get on? They won 5-3. So again, look, it's so tight. 3 teams on 67 points sniffing around getting into that last spot. A win for them and losses for us. Puts them very, very close. And we've got York next. So I'm not going to be too confident going in against York. Never mind. It looks like we've actually secured playoffs. Well, it shows us. Have we secured playoffs? No. Never mind. We haven't secured playoffs just yet. We're here for the game against York City. I'll tell you what, the media absolutely hate us. We're currently 3rd in the league, and they, in the last press conference, saying, oh, well, you best hope for an absolute run of results because there's no way you're going to get playoffs. Sorry, we're sitting 3rd? I mean, yeah, it's tight, but we're sitting 3rd with one of the best goal differences in the league. Get off my back. I mean, it is very tight. Realistically, FC Halifax and above, any of us could finish in the playoffs. These 2 have already secured their playoff spots, as we saw. But in terms of the team lineup against York, we've got Wright in goal. We're going to have to just go with playing Pinnington. I know he's knackered, but I really don't think it's a game for George to come in. You know, he's not performed very well when we have seen him, and he's leaving at the end of the season, so he's gone. If it comes to it in the next game, I'll rest him and put I'd rather play Appleby there, to be honest, the youngster, and play him there, but not starting him today. He is actually going to go on the bench, though, because we will need to take him off at halftime. Who do we drop off the bench? Do we risk not having a keeper on the bench? Yeah, let's risk it. Okay, so here is your team lineup for the game against York today. There is some rotation because the squad fitness was starting to drop. Some positions, they're just going to have to deal with it. We can't afford to rotate too much, but others have been brought in. So we've got Pinnington, Francis, Johnson and Rudy in defence, Campbell and Manny Aliki in midfield. We've got Mully, Mellor, Oswell in attack, and we've got Hugh Gill up front. I'm thinking I might play Hugh Gill more as like a channel forward now and get him to do more runs in behind. And I might bring, again, it a little bit more narrow. I might do that. Inside wingers, bring it more narrow, and then have him as a channel forward running in behind and getting them to slot balls in behind the defence is my hope. In terms of the bench, it pretty much makes itself now. Not really. Do you know what? Actually, let's not have Killer Ferrari on the bench, because you know if I don't put a goalkeeper on, 100% Wright's going to get injured. So we'll put Camis back on the bench and the others will sit out in this game. Okay, so in terms... York are 13th in the form table, so maybe what I said earlier was absolute nonsense, and they haven't been pretty much unbeaten. So they've not been playing... I mean, maybe a good time to actually play them, but I'm going to put on here, we could qualify for playoffs today. I think if we win this, we mathematically have got playoffs. But we are playing top of the league York, who have been pretty impressive all season. So let's hope for a miracle against the big boy that we can do it. And we usually do play well against the bigger teams, right? It's the lower league opposition that we don't always perform well. Maybe it's a bit of complacency. Maybe I need to try and start to drive that out of the squad. But usually against the higher teams, we normally can perform well, and we usually can get some form of a result, a win or a draw. But realistically, after seeing that draw against Yeovil, I think a win is what we need in today's game just to secure us playoffs. I really just want it secured. We know then we've got it. We don't have to worry about fighting until the last game of the season. We can just concentrate on getting into a good vein of form. Oh, that's a free kick there. A good vein of form ready to go into the playoffs. So we've got Campbell lining up the free kick. Oh, that means both of our DMs can take a free kick. This isn't good, though. It's on the counter-attack. I think I would have rather had Aliki take that free kick after what we saw him do last season in the playoffs with that absolute bullet of a free kick into the back of the net. But hey, Campbell decided to step up and take it, and he wasn't too far off, to be fair to him. Another rocket of his that he tried to do. But 27 minutes played. Still 0-0. Probably looking at taking off Campbell and Pinnington at the break. So if we can get a goal or two to kind of cement our lead or cement our dominance. Hugh Gill here. What's he trying to do there? Just run forward with it and take the keeper on and then slide it past him. He's stopping the play and trying to finesse from there. I think I've been bloody finessed with the contract that I've given him after seeing that. Come on, you've got to have confidence in yourself to run forward with that. Surely. Anyway, highlight for us again. Well, it was for them, but it's come back to us already. Aliki, Johnson, Francis, Aliki, the old guard linking up. Campbell into Mellor. The new wingers there. Pinnington into Mully. Mully? I think it's Mully. Mellor takes a shot and it goes out for the corner. Of course we don't see it because we're absolutely awful at corners. That's something that we need to put a little bit of work into. But to be fair, realistically, from a corner threat, we've only got Hugh Gill and probably Francis and Johnson. Aliki or Campbell, one of them, always stay back. And then the rest of our attackers, they're all relatively on the smaller side. You know, they're the more technical players. They're not big and strong boys. So maybe we might have to adjust that going into next season and get some more attacking threat from the corners potentially. But we've got to defend well here. We didn't defend well, but luckily the header went wide. I'm going to encourage them again, see if we can maybe get something before the end of the half. We can't. So we're going to go in at half-time 0-0. I'm going to say well done on controlling the possession and the tempo of the game. we are going to have to take Pinnington on and bring on Appleby, which I don't know if I'm happy with or not, but I can't risk Pinnington actually getting injured and being out for the rest of the playoffs. I'm going to bring Ashby on for Campbell, and I might bring Clark on as well. Clark much prefers a inside forward role or an inside winger role than what Melly does, or Morley. I'm probably horribly pronouncing that. It might be Mully, to be fair. It is Mully. Yeah, Mully. Right, there we go. From now on, we will get it right. My apologies. How are the other games going in the league? Forest Green are winning. Woking are drawing. Aldershot are winning. So what does that actually do to the table right now? Currently, we drop down to 5th. Which, I mean, it's not ideal, is it? In the slightest, dropping down to 5th. But at least we're not losing, he says, right now. How does it actually end up with regards to... So we'll be 6 points. No, we won't, because Rochdale have just gone on to get a winner. Or winning in their game. So we're only 3 points ahead of 8th. So we're most certainly not securing our playoffs if this match stays the way it is. I might change it to positive. It's risky, but I want the goal to secure us playoffs. I want to win, and so far York haven't really given us anything. They've not been a threat. He says that now. Appleby's just been turned inside out. And there we go. Oh, it's offside. It's offside. There's still a chance. Right, encourage the boys. I mean, if they start getting back into the game with us going on to positive, we'll swap it back to balanced. But I feel like we want to get on to them more. I'm going to take Boswell and bring on McEachran. No, actually, don't do that. Bring on G. Change G into an inside forward. Have 2 inside forwards. And what we're going to do... Yeah, we're already on standard. So we're not going to change that. What we might do, actually, is get them to play through the middle. Because if we're playing 2 inside forwards, we're going to be overloading that middle of the park. Right, come on, right. Kick it long. This is where we hit on the counter. Let's do something. Okay, or just take your time and just roll it out. Mellor into G. G's just come on. Can he make an immediate impact? G! Oh. G booted it into row Z is what happened there. We didn't even get to see where the ball ended up. Probably outside of the stadium. 85 minutes played. I mean, a point against top of the league isn't a horrible result. It just would have been better if we beat Yeovil and then got this point. Appleby, Clark, Ashby. Is there a last roll of the dice? Hugill. Into G. Ruddy. Surging run by Ruddy. Clark picks up the loose ball. Can he get it? Come on. Get it inside. Aliki. Ashby! Oh. We've just not been clinical enough. And I don't know how. Again, 12 shots, only 3 on target. That isn't the tactic not playing out how it should be. That's just us being wasteful with our chances. I'm disappointed we didn't win because that is a result that we should have picked up 3 points. It's so tight now. Very, very tight. 6 points to go and arguably all the way down to 11th could get playoffs. We might just scrape playoffs by the skin of our teeth because of our goal difference. But there we go. That's everything we're going to see today. 2 back-to-back boring draws, really. Nothing too exciting happened. Maybe we need a little bit more time on that training pitch with our attacking movement and our chance creation. So that's something that we'll be getting into the boys in the next few weeks. I'll bring you back for the last 2 games of the season. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can secure playoffs and potentially even go back-to-back promotions with Oxford City. But I hope you've enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Subscribe if you're new around here to continue watching the journey, and leave a comment down below. Are we going to secure playoffs? Or are the last 2 games going to be the same as what we've seen now? And of course, if we don't pick up at least 3 points, I reckon, in them last 2 games, we will not get playoffs at all. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.